one of the nation's top scoring offenses, averaging over 4 goals per game. Off the faceoff, they score! Larry plays it back to Hilbert, around to Cammalleri. He'll come out in front himself, scores! Whether SO stands for sophomore or shutout, Ryan Miller of the Michigan State Spartans leads the nation with a 1.13 goals against average and a record-tying 16 career shutouts.
Side tipped in front. Miller, big stop and the rebound left in the slot. Pass to Kovacic, firing Miller the save.
Offense against defense. Will Hilbert and Cammalleri light the lamp? Or will Miller keep it off and set the all-time NCAA record? This great college hockey rivalry, the second of 4 meetings this season between the Wolverines and Spartans. Michigan State won the first 1-0 at Yost back in November. Upwards of 17,000 on hand here tonight at Joe Louis Arena, and that's why they call it Hockey Town. Hello again, everyone. Ken Daniels alongside Fred Fletch. Well, numbers 1 and 2 in the CCHA. The Spartans and the Wolverines. Now, Michigan has scored 36 more goals than the Spartans in just 2 more games, and they are led by a dynamic duo up front and a couple of Hobey Baker candidates.
In Andy Hilbert and Mike Cammalleri. What a pair this is. Hilbert packs the punch in this duo. He comes into tonight's game on a 15-game scoring streak, including 32 points, has a very powerful shot, a powerful skating stride, and a very powerful presence at the net. Cammalleri, he's the whirling dervish in the duo, has great vision on the ice. He is great on his edges, and as you can tell on this goal against Lake Superior State, Mike Cammalleri has quick hands as well. And Mike Cammalleri rated 41st overall for the next NHL draft. Camalleri's a dandy.
While the Wolverines score a lot more, the Spartans have allowed 38 fewer. Just 29 goals against in 26 games for Michigan State. A great combination, a great team, and a great goalie.
Ryan Miller's numbers are difficult to comprehend this season he is having. Not only the season, the month of January, he allowed only 1 goal. And Ryan Miller, his coach Ron Mason, cites 3 factors for those minuscule numbers. The commitment to team defense that his Spartans play in front of him. He's a fierce practice competitor, and also this is a goalie, Ryan Miller, who's destined to play in the National Hockey League. Is he destined tonight, Ken, to break a record that has stood for some 70 years?
And let's check out a list of those that Ryan Miller has passed. 1 more to go to break that record. Long before Easton was a hockey stick, he was known as a great goalie. And remember, Ryan's only a sophomore. This record will just keep on growing and growing. So it's great offense, against great defense, and have we even mentioned yet? We haven't. And Michigan State comes in here on a school record-tying 23-game unbeaten streak. Plenty of storylines we'll have for you throughout the night, and I believe Shireen Saspy even has one more tale to tell right now. Shireen?
Well, Ken, this is a night that just splits families apart. The Michigan State rivalry is important to all, especially the upperclassmen. We'll hear from them coming up during intermission.
Well, tonight marks the 234th meeting between the interstate rivals, the Wolverines, with a 17-game edge all time. But tonight, everybody's on edge. CCHA Hockey on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Olympia Entertainment. Welcome back to Joe Louis Arena. Glad you're along with us this Saturday night on Fox Sports Net, a rivalry that goes back to January of 1922, 5 years before my dad ever heard of Wally Easton, of Clarkson. The Wolverines hold the edge in the all-time series by 17. Josh Blackburn for the Wolverines of Michigan, his 4 shutouts, a 5th-round draft pick of Phoenix in 1998. He's an Oklahoma native. He's a junior who's been the goalie of record in every game but 1 this season for the Wolverines. And Ryan Miller, coming off 3 consecutive shutouts, 5 of his past 6 from the famous Miller hockey family of the NHL, and Spartans, a 5th-round draft pick of Buffalo in 1999.
Referee for this game, Steve Petrosky. The assistant referees, Kevin Langseth and Butch Friedman, were underway.
And back to get it, Jeff Gilson, number 5 for the Michigan Wolverines. On defense with Mike Cammalleri, the freshman D, number 8. Cammalleri circles back to get it. Instead, it will be icing.
Red Berenson, his 17th season behind the Wolverines bench, saying before the game, you know, he remembers when he wore the maize and blue, how big the games were against Michigan State, and look what it's evolved into, playing in front of 20,000 fans. Ron Mason, NCAA hockey's all-time winningest coach, 885 career victories, his 22nd season behind the Spartans bench, 35th season overall coaching college hockey.
Head-to-head, the lead is in Ron Mason's favor by 10 over Red Berenson in 71 career matches. But Red leads in one other very important category. Fred, 2 NCAA titles to Mason's 1. There's a shot that is blocked. Down in front, bouncing puck. Koch went after it, couldn't get to it. Cammalleri holds it in at the point. The shot blocked in front of the goal and brought out to center ice. Andrew Bogle. Rink-wide feed and sent in deep by number 9, Sean Patchell.
Neutral zone is going to be very, very important for the Wolverines tonight. Their coaching staff reminding them in practice all week long they have to make good decisions in the neutral zone, read what the Michigan State Spartans defense is doing, and that's going to dictate whether they dump the puck in or try and carry it, as Andy Hilbert looks for his 20th goal of the season against a Spartans team defense that has simply been incredible all year long.
Well, think about this. We're 52 seconds into the hockey game. We passed the 30-second mark, Fred.
Well, it seems that Ryan Miller sets a new record almost every break, and right now he has gone into now his personal best shutout streak, over 207 minutes and 41 seconds.
We'll see if he can go the whole way and set an NCAA record here tonight with a 17th career shutout in just a season and a half. Unbelievable. The Wolverines, though, the high-scoring power, it was something to say about that. J.J. Swistak trying to get through. Fed around by John Insana, who took a hit. Held in at the line, knocked down, picked up there by Brian Maloney, number 20. Maloney second in team scoring behind Rustin Dolany, number 19, who leads the Spartans in that department. J.J. Swistak. Cross rink, Mink was going off, never saw the puck. Whacked at by Damon Whitten, but it'll be Michigan sending it into the Spartan zone. Circling out, John Michael Lyles. Out through center, puck is knocked down. Wolverines back on it quickly. Coming off a hat trick is Mark Hossack. That shot off the side of the goal. In behind the net. A hook on there by Lyles. Turning with it, Langfeld. He's tied up. Going over to get it, Troy Ferguson, 17, up with Damon Whitten, 14. Ferguson couldn't get the puck deep, turned over center ice. Gobbling it up, though, in comes Brad Fast. Went over for Whitten. Whitten stayed with it, but the Wolverines clear it to the line, not out, bad giveaway, and now it's cleared to center. Scott Matska couldn't corral it there. Both teams changing on the fly. 2.5 gone here in the opening period at Joe Louis Arena. We're in for a dandy here tonight on Fox Sports Net. Mike Cammalleri also coming off a hat trick for Michigan in the 9-0 rout on Tuesday night of Notre Dame. While Michigan State blanked Lake Superior State 3-0 at Munn. Michigan coming off a win at Yost in what was a pretty easy effort for them, much to the chagrin of Dave Poulin's Notre Dame's Fighting Irish. Mike Cammalleri. Number 13 turns back at center and goes back to get it.
Spartans just changing up their all-senior line that has accounted for 7 game-winning goals this season.
That'll be held by Ryan Miller for a face-off. As we mentioned, an NCAA record could be his tonight. A big fan of the Leafs' Curtis Joseph, and you could see some of that in his style.
Well, Ryan Miller participated in a conference call yesterday with national sports media. One of the questions was, Ryan, would you leave school early? And he says, didn't say absolutely not, but he said, you know, playing 4 years is going to make me a stronger, smarter, and more mature player when I'm ready to turn pro. Plus, Buffalo has some guy who's not bad between the pipes.
And you know what's ironic about that? The number on that Buffalo guy is the same that Miller wears. 39. He'll follow in some big skates if he wants that number one day.
long as he gets the contract to match.
Yeah, right? Oh, yeah, that would be nice. Hey, by the time he gets there, it might be double. You never know. Out to stop it behind the goal is Blackburn, and it's up into the crowd, a large crowd here at Joe Louis Arena tonight. They love their college hockey here. These teams will meet again here at the Joe, February the 17th.
Well, you know, you can't help but talk about the season Ryan Miller's having, but what about Josh Blackburn? He's posting the best numbers of his career. These are the best numbers that he's put up. 28 games played. His save percentage is 90.6%, and he himself has 3 shutouts in the month of January, 5-1-1 record, and a 1.27 goals against average. Not too shabby numbers for Josh Blackburn, 5th-round draft pick of the Phoenix Coyotes.
Out at center, taken by Brad Fast. Spartans clear the zone. They go back in after it. Smooth skating Mike Commissaric got rocked back there, and the Michigan Wolverines come up through center. Shinia going wide, tried to drop it back. Staying with them was John Michael Lyles. And it's up and out of play again. And you mentioned in the Michigan goal is Josh Blackburn. Well, this man is no relation. His name is Joe Blackburn, an All-American. CCHA best goalie in 98-99. He shut out Yale in his only game played this season. He just can't get into the goal, though.
Well, he got in once against
it.
Yale and promptly, you guessed it, shut them out. And he was joking to the reporters that converged on his locker stall after the game. He says, you know, I should get a lot more playing time. I've got better numbers than the other guy here.
Yeah. His birthday yesterday, just turned 22, but Ron Mason also credits Ryan Miller's success to the help he gets from Joe Blackburn.
Says Blackburn continues to push Miller, and Joe Blackburn's a genuinely good kid, and when he plays, he gets a shutout too.
1 game, 1 shutout. Well, for a guy who you couldn't displace from the goal, never thought it would happen except for the greatness of Ryan Miller. Delayed offside, so the Wolverines have to clear the zone. They do. Lyles gave that one away. Hustling over was Matska, but it's cleared out to center ice.
Wolverines have an all-senior line of their own. Matska, Kosick, and Langfeld, and they could play a key role as to how far and how long the Wolverine season goes.
Blackburn leaving it there for Dave Hunsinger. Chased by 21, John Nail. Comes around for another number 21. That's Josh Langfeld. His pass up through the middle. Nail put on the hit. Vogel tipped it at center. Taken by Andy Burns. Knocked down, and the Spartans, Hatchell, got it in across the line. Fired around the other way by Andy Hilbert. Got some help from Koch. Cammalleri. Knife through to Hilbert.
Well, if you were wondering whose style was going to dictate here, offense versus defense, we're 5 minutes, 15 seconds in, shots on goal, 0-0.
There's a long one in, and Miller will grab that. And don't forget, a shot on goal should be a chance to score on the goal, not necessarily a shot that's just flipped in like that one was, and they were not credited with a shot right there.
Longed up, and Ron Mason doesn't put much stock in shots on goal, and I'm sure his counterpart Red Berenson doesn't as well. The trend these days is to scoring chances. You can have a breakaway, have nobody within 20 feet of you, miss the net with a slap shot or a wrist shot or a backhand, and it doesn't count as a shot on goal, but a breakaway, obviously a great scoring chance.
Michigan Wolverines hold a 4-game advantage here at the Joe over the Spartans in 26 matches in this building, so it's all been pretty close. Another one in on Miller, and Ryan will hang on to that.
As we look at Mark Mink playing in his 70th consecutive game for the Wolverines. He is their current Ironman, Mark Mink. The club record, by the way, 164 straight games, so he's got a ways to go. Reunited with J.J. Swistak and John Shinia on an all-former CompuWare Ambassadors line.
Flipped ahead, and the Spartans carry out to center ice. Tim Herron got it in. Gilson for the Wolverines. San Jose Sharks draft pick. This will be icing. Face-off coming back into the Michigan zone.
Tim Herron getting the go tonight on the number one unit for Ron Mason's Spartans between Brian Maloney and Adam Hall. And somebody else's problems can open the door for another player, and Tim Herron gets the chance tonight because Jeremy Jackson, who should be in the lineup, coach's decision not to dress Jeremy Jackson tonight, the outstanding freshman centerman for the Michigan State Spartans, had a little alarm clock problems, I guess we'll say.
Oh, JJ had some alarm clock problems, did he? Oh. Too bad you miss a big game like this one.
You have to participate in all team functions to participate in the team games.
Playing on the body there was Rustin Dolany. Damon Whitten back into the middle. Quick shot. Josh Blackburn handled that. Mike Rominski takes it. Wolverines trying to get through. They cannot. Here come the Spartans. 3 in. Dolany scores! A quick break and a 2-on-1, and it's 1-0 for Michigan State. Thanks to their leading scorer.
Rustin Dolany, his 9th goal of the season, a turnover in that 10-foot zone on either side of the blue line, and Rustin Dolany snipes upstairs. He challenges Josh Blackburn right at his strength, high glove side, and Rustin Dolany gives the Spartans the early lead. This was a 3-on-1 that developed, and he's coming in on his off wing. Dolany, a right shot coming in on the left side, and when you do that, the stick sees a lot more than what the eyes see because the stick is more centered to the slot area, and Rustin Dolany obviously saw that there was net high glove side, and he gives the Spartans the lead, and that is something the Wolverines wanted to avoid because the Michigan State Spartans, when they get a lead, they think they can take a 1-0 lead and carry it, in this case, another 43 minutes or so, or 53 minutes.
Because as Red Berenson says, or as Ron Mason says rather, his kids don't get greedy. They know how to protect the lead, and then you know you have Ryan Miller back there. So the captain, Rustin Dolany, makes it 1-0 for State. Ontario's Rustin Dolany with his 65th career goal in his 153rd game from Whitten and Ferguson at 6:16 makes it 1-0 State.
The 5 senior forwards for the Michigan State Spartans, John Nail, Rustin Dolany, Damon Whitten, Andrew Vogel, and Sean Patchell, have scored now 41 of State's 83 goals this season, right at the 50% mark. Ron Mason says those 5 senior forwards set the tone early in the year and have not let up.
Knocked down at center ice. Well, obviously the shot clock here isn't working because there is still not a shot on goal. So let's not go by that, okay? Although we are right in saying that unless it is a chance to score, it's not a shot, or at least a decent chance. So the Spartans have scored, and when Michigan State scores first, they are 15-0-2. They have not lost when they score the first goal. Cammalleri couldn't find it in his skates. Turning back, Brad Fast. Up through the middle. On it quickly was Brian Maloney. Up there along with Tim Herron. Turning back, Andy Burns. The freshman D. Played it ahead. Camalleri's pass in. Hilbert in on goal! And a stop. Miller got a piece of that. As he followed Hilbert across the crease. Burns shot it wide. And Adam Hall gets it to center ice.
Well, we talked off the top about Hilbert being a powerful presence, and he showed why there.
And that's just out of reach, and the net is off. As Hilbert went for Cammalleri. And this loud crowd here loving this one.
Hilbert gets a step on the defenseman, fends him off, and cuts forehand. But look at that State commitment to defense as the partner who was on the weak side, not the guy who got beaten originally, came back and poked the puck off Andy Hilbert's stick.
And
as Hilbert bids for number 20.
Yeah, 4 assists versus Notre Dame on Tuesday. A 15-game point streak. Leading scorer in the CCHA, 19 goals, 48 points.
Is he Mike Keenan's kind of player?
If he's mentally tough, yes.
Well, the coaching staff says he is mentally tough. They say him and Cammalleri are just rink rats. You can't keep them away from the rink. No days off.
If he's a fitness buff and mentally tough, he'll be okay. Spartans bring it in. Coming with speed off the wing. Blackburn knocked it away, and a good rush up ice by Chris Koski. Another shot, and Blackburn will hang out of that.
Well, both teams are going to the net with authority. They want to get in the opposition goalie's face. Koski, he's a big kid, and he took it to the net, got it there, and fortunately that time the Wolverines defense able to clear, and then Jackson and Koski again just buzzing around Josh Blackburn's cage. Some good, big, strong power forwards in this game, and they are strutting their stuff early.
Teams played here last regular season to a 3-3 tie. Michigan State returning to the site of their 4th consecutive GLI title. Fast takes it back to the line. His shot deflected wide. And a 4th straight title duplicates the feat for the Spartans from 82 through 85. Mark Minkian drop back into the corner to pick it up. Back to the point. Miller deflects it away. Wiles couldn't get to it. Good hustle. Shania in front to Mink. Couldn't find the puck. Out at center. A long shot down. Up ahead. Mertwell Swistak. Shooting one in. Back to get it, Andrew Hutchinson.
Wolverines dumping it in and making sure they're keeping it away from Ryan Miller to allow the line change right there. They want to dump, but they want to dump it smartly.
Spartans pressuring, stealing, Blackburn! Couple of stops there after Whitten had the first good try on a Wolverine giveaway, icing against Michigan.
Well, in talking to Mel Pearson, longtime assistant coach of the Wolverines, I asked him, who do you compare Josh Blackburn to in style? He says, you know, Fred, he's kind of a cross between Marty Turco and Steve Shields. And those are two fine goaltenders to be compared to. Shields, a second-team All-American in 1993 and 94. Marty Turco with 11 career shutouts, the Wolverines' all-time record. Plus, he still holds the NCAA record, Marty Turco, with 127 wins. So Josh Blackburn in good company being mentioned with Turco and Shields.
They'll jam in behind the goal, and almost Eric's there. Wolverines to center, lead feed knocked down. Hossack played it back in. Shot off to the far side. Up through center. Maloney hustling in after it, comes around, knocked down Tim Herron. Herron has it. Up there along with Adam Hall, 18. Trying to get to it, Mark Hossack. Hossack gets bumped. And the puck is underneath. So the gloves come up. But they'll step in and separate them. 1-0 State. We're back in a moment.
Be sure and tune in. Our next CCHA telecast, Friday, February 9th, when Michigan State hosts Alaska Fairbanks. Ken Shireen and yours truly on hand in East Lansing at Munn for all the action, starting at 7 p.m. here on Fox Sports Net.
And remember, we'll also have these two teams again here from the Joe on February 17th on Fox Sports Net. John Insana put it back behind the goal. Patchell in there. Tied up, loose puck. Patchell turns back to the line. Hutchinson the shot, and that was stopped. As Blackburn had a crowd at the crease, a giveaway. Patchell stopped by Blackburn.
Good first stop by Blackburn on the giveaway. Patchell had him dead to rights, tried to go 5-hole.
Like Cammalleri. Patchell will steal. Spartans at center. Bumped ahead by Bogle. The Wolverines start out. Michigan State changing, icing against the Wolverines.
Well, in a big game, emotions are going to run high, but if you can't keep your emotions in check, you're going to suffer a breakdown in discipline and composure and wind up in the penalty box. Here, John Insana and Mike Cammalleri will trash talk one another all the way up the ice. And no penalties so far in the game. Red Berenson knows his Wolverines have to be disciplined. Wolverines have great special teams. Spartans' special teams play has been spectacular this season.
Off the draw, fast the shot, the save, the rebound! And it's underneath the pile in there. There's a scrum going on. In rugby-style fashion, they'll get a whistle.
If you're logging scoring chances, and each team has their own stats crew, scoring chances decidedly so far in the first 10 minutes and 57 seconds on the Spartans side of the ledger, as Troy Ferguson, Carolina Hurricanes property, his father Sheldon, the director of player personnel for the Hurricanes, he goes to the net with authority. Ferguson in on the only goal scored so far in the game. Rustin Dolany getting his 9th of the season. It came at the 6:14 mark, and Damon Whitten also picked up a helper as the Spartans drew first blood.
Spartans on a 10-game winning streak for the 3rd year in a row. We mentioned unbeaten in 23 games, 20-0-3. Michigan 3-0-1 their past 4 games. Mike Romensky passed it ahead. Puck knocked into the corner. Trainer went after it, back to the line. Romensky sent it in. Into the corner. Go Couts, number 11. Up there with Trainer. Rustin Dolany going after it with Gilson. Held inside the line. Quick shot. Just missed. And as Miller came out to cut down the angle. Heavy collision at center as Damon Whitten was run into the boards. Turning Jeff Gilson. To Mike Cammalleri. He's forced back by the forechecking of 18 Adam Hall. Michigan unable to get out. First try and a second they will, but the Spartans will take over. John Insana, number 2. Pass back, own zone, lead feed, tipped down the ice. Blackburn out to settle it. He sees Tim Herron coming, shot it around, point shot! Blackburn had to make a good stop off that Andrew Hutchison drive. Spartans got back quickly to negate some Wolverine speed. Passing out in front was Swistak, back to the line, held in by Cammalleri. Puck bouncing around in there, Mink toward the goal. Swistak, far side Mink. Jammed by Insana. Aaron over to tie it up with Shania. Hall can't get out. Now the Spartans clear it down. This will be icing.
Ryan Miller leads the nation in many statistical categories for netminders, and his Michigan State Spartans are prominent nationally in many categories. The unbeaten streak headed possibly for 24 tonight. Team defense, that goals against average is astounding. 1.16, 29 goals surrendered all season. They've got the best scoring margin. That's actually winning margin. They score an average of 2 goals per game more than the opposition. Michigan Wolverines, they take the opposite tack. They say the best defense is a good offense, and if we've got the puck, it's hard for the other team to score.
And we've got the shot clock in order. And it's State by 4 by 1 where it counts.
They had 13 shots, did State, in the first meeting this season, all game.
Wolverines with 31, albeit in a 1-0 loss. Good play to keep it on side. A penalty coming up here to the Michigan Wolverines for tripping.
Troy Ferguson getting tripped up at the blue line as Josh Langfeld sticks the left leg out. Saw that Ferguson had positioning on him and was going to be getting past him. So we go to the special teams now, and the state power play in the month of January, clicking at nearly 23%, 9 for the last 40 chances overall in the season, 35 power play goals and 161 opportunities, led by Rustin Dolany and Brian Maloney. Wolverines on the penalty kill. They have surrendered 25 power play goals on the season and 168 opposition chances, so the opposition scores at a 15% clip.
So a big chance here for Michigan State to go up by a couple, and the way that Ryan Miller's been playing, that may be more than enough. Although, as we say, the Wolverines with a high-powered offense. Ryan Miller, 3 consecutive shutouts. He owns the modern-day NCAA record, passing Marty Turco with his 16th. 1 away from setting his own all-time mark. He basically has 1 shutout every 3.06 starts. 32% of his starts are shutouts.
That's almost incomprehensible, but he's the first to admit it's a team thing. He just does his job at one end of the ice. Of course, you can't win any games if you don't get some goals from the rest of the guys in front of you, and 1 or 2 is usually enough.
On the trip, that was a good thing.
At center, the Spartans working with the man advantage. Can't get in. Good hustle by Cammalleri. Heron can't get through. Puck loose. Still in there. Maloney right in the goal, and it's blocked. Great chance for Brian Maloney, and the Wolverines dodge a bullet.
Wolverines careless around their own blue line, playing you've got it, I've got it. No, Maloney's got it. He walks in on Blackburn and snaps one from about 30 feet. And Blackburn has been tested with 5 or 6 solid grade A opportunities so far by the Spartans, beaten by Dolany.
Blackburn backhanded one around. Nail over to get it.
Lost his blocker. Blackburn's without his blocker.
Yes, he had. It does not. You don't need that. Now he gets it back. Back to the line, fast. Quickly across. Patchell behind Whitten. John Nail couldn't handle it. Moving up, Brad Fast to poke it deeper. On the puck was Vancic, fired around, held in. Whitten to the corner. Patchell. Gilson watching him. For John Nail to Damon Whitten. Nail's bumped, and it's on the back of the mesh. So they'll get a stop and play. I had mentioned, Fred, that Michigan State returns to their site of their 4th straight GLI. Michigan State does. Michigan's performance here in the GLI left many people scratching their heads, including the redhead of Mr. Berenson. 15 goals against and 2 losses.
Well, there's always a silver lining in every dark cloud, and for the Wolverines coaching staff, they said, you know what, we gave up 15 goals in those 2 games, and that really was impetus for us to go back to our players and say, look, we have to recommit ourselves to some team concepts, which they have done, and put together a very fine month of January, a 5-1-1 record.
5 seconds left on the Michigan State power play. Commissary, good job. That'll do it. Out of the box steps Josh Langfeld. So they escape with no harm done to the Wolverines. Down 1-0. 4.5 to go. Opening period. Hall shooting it in. Puck behind the goal. Maloney out front. Hall getting over. The Bogle behind the net. Maloney to the corner. Takes the bump, tries to tie it up in his skates, keeping it in there, and they'll hold it long enough to get a stop in play. Well, Blackburn lost an integral part of his equipment. He gets it back here from Jeff Gilson.
No mental block.
Welcome back to Joe Louis Arena. Ryan Miller trying to get his 17th career shutout for an NCAA record. Let's look at the guy that he is compared to. That's Wally Easton, whose record he tied. Wally Easton played for Clarkson, as we all know. Did you know that Ryan Miller was originally recruited by Clarkson? If you look at their numbers, they're pretty equal. Ryan Miller, though, said he wanted to end up in East Lansing. Ken?
I knew you'd come up with more in the story, just like Paul Harvey. Puck into the corner. Dolany stepped into his check. He has the only goal of this game. Fired around by Swistak. Whitten moved up. The Spartans have it at center. Michigan State. Around for Brad Fast. Lost the puck. Oh, and a great opportunity there. And Michigan failed to capitalize. Swistak had a glorious chance. The puck handed to him, and you don't want him mess up many of those when you get the opportunity, obviously.
Well, Swistak filling in for Jed Ortmeyer, who is out for the season with a torn MCL, and he is just as good defensively as Ortmeyer, but they're going to miss him up front. Ortmeyer just in situations like we saw.
Swistak may have been surprised to see the puck come right on his stick. The Wolverines, with pressure like this, are forcing turnovers. But look out. One of the Wolverines changing his pass, brings it into the zone with Nail. Good play there by Jay Vancic to get in his way. Wolverines gain the line. Hard hit thrown by Insana, and that's cleared down the ice.
Well, Fast turned the puck over at the Wolverines' blue line, but it was a 2-on-2 coming back because Andrew Bogle read the play, and he was back playing a defenseman's position.
Long shot in, and Miller will handle that and hang on for a face-off.
Well, another thing that Ryan Miller talked about in his nationwide teleconference or press conference yesterday was his pregame ritual. He says it started in junior. He played in the Sioux in the North American Hockey League, and he said, you know, it started, I'd see my mother in the afternoon, and she'd give me little punches to the chest like little pucks hitting me. And he continues on, goes home, stretches, listens to music and stuff, comes to the rink, and in half gear goes out on the ice before the game and talks to the ice. If Patrick Waugh can talk to his posts, I guess Ryan can talk to the ice.
Yeah, that was just telling us he's a goalie. Back of the goal.
He's also into a lot of positive affirmation, which many of the pro athletes are, just some positive buzzwords, keywords that they remind themselves before each and every contest.
Langfeld drops it back. Kosick. Shot went wide. Langfeld rebound. Miller stopped that one. Puck in behind the goal. Gilson. To the goal. Deflected. Miller down. Oh, and the puck stays out. Miller down. He got good help from his defense. Long shot in by Hutchinson. Can't say the Wolverines haven't had their chances. Troy Ferguson turning tail on Vancic, stays with him though, and takes the puck. Joe Couts lifts it high and over top of Fast. Rustin Dolany. In it goes. Blackburn out to play it. Put it around to Vancic. Cleared to center. Off the official. Right to Lyles. Here goes Whitten after it. Damon Whitten, nice little fake from Vancic. High slot shot! Blocked! Back to the line. And open Brad Fast. Shooting, went wide. Rebound! Blackburn got a piece of that. It may have got off the iron. Fast. Point shot, Whitten. Rebound, just wide. Lyles out front. Blackburn off his own man. Best hold on to that, he thinks. And he does.
Well, frenzied action in front of both Ryan Miller and Josh Blackburn as the Spartans buzz the Wolverines' crease. Rustin Dolany helping keep the puck in. It'll be transferred at the point as Fast gets it across. The original shot, the save and the rebound just swept wide. And watch Langfeld earlier with a grade A against Ryan Miller. Puck won't come out of Miller's paraphernalia, and Langfeld gets knocked to the ice, and Miller's so sound technically, but he can be acrobatic as well when he has to.
Insana to the corner.
Let's go! Come on, Pat!
Shots are 14-10 now. Wolverines with the edge. Here come the Spartans in. There's a shot deflected up into the seats and out of play. Well, Josh Langfeld will be Shireen Saski's first intermission guest. And we'll also have a feature on this terrific college hockey rivalry between Michigan and Michigan State that has been going on since 1922.
And they have delivered everything that was billed in advance in this first period.
The Spartans have 14 shots, Michigan with 10. Hilbert the shot, and he missed the net. Good try there, set up by Cammalleri. 4 seconds left. One last shot, and it's blocked to the line. And Miller stopped that.
Well, typical Spartan season right there. One shot is blocked by the defense, another one gets through, and Ryan Miller makes the save. Spartans head to the dressing room with a lead after 20.
Well, Ryan Miller now with 227 minutes and 12 seconds of shutout hockey as we tack another 20 on to his total, like the Energizer Bunny. Just keeps on going and going.
Well, he's up near record territory once again. 325 minutes, I believe, is the all-time record.
So, Rustin Nolany here with a great shot, beating Blackburn, makes it 1-0. And so far, Ryan Miller has done the rest.
To Michigan and Michigan State in this state, they start them off young. A couple of the Wolverine fans on hand tonight cheering on Michigan. And Josh Langfeld, one of the older players in the crowd tonight, one of the veterans on the team. Your last trip to Joe Louis Arena for the GLI, not so good. You lose both games, but since then, this team has really bounced back.
Yeah, definitely. I think we made a commitment to defense, a little bit more, and we've had some good defensive play and some good goaltending, and we've been getting a lot of goals, and we got to get one here tonight because we don't want to lose again here.
Well, you lost back in November to Michigan State when you were #1 in the nation. How important is it now to upset the #1 team?
I mean, it's very important because now each of these last 16 games we play are big for the RPI and the national tournament play. So this game is pretty big because of the interstate rivalry and the CCHA, but there's more implications than anybody even knows.
What's the emotion out there like tonight? I mean, it's almost a jam-packed house on hand. The fans are yelling. What's it like there on the ice for this?
It's intense. It's fun to play in, and it makes everybody a better hockey player, I believe. I mean, you see guys flying, and guys who usually aren't in the mix of it are mixing up a little bit, and the fans are out there and they're screaming one way, and next thing you know they're going the other way. So it's intense and it's fun to play.
I know one guy who would really like to be out there tonight is Jed Ortmeyer, but of course he's out now for the season with the torn ACL. What did he say to you guys?
Jed's a pretty emotional kid, and he took it pretty tough, but you know what? He's a great competitor, and kid works real hard, and he's supporting us all the way, and we're with him, and it's tough for him, and it's a battle that I bet you he's going to win because I know Jed Ortmeyer, and he's a tough kid, and that's a great thing about him. He's full of character, and he's a pretty intense kid, so we're pulling for him, and he's pulling for us.
Little extra work out there for you guys, though, without him.
Definitely. I mean, he's a big part of our hockey team, and he's missed, and it's a big hole to fill, and we got to get guys to step up outside, that maybe haven't been playing, and we got to fill the hole. Even though Jed, brings power play, penalty kill, and 5-on-5 play, he does it all, and so we need somebody to step up and pick it up, and hopefully if everybody just picks it up a little bit, we can pick it up.
Down just one goal here after one period. Obviously, you'd like to be on top. How do you crack Ryan Miller?
I think he's a great goaltender, but, just like Marty Turco was, I mean, they all give up goals sometimes. So you got to get in front of them. You got to, you see here, me chance, I had a nice chance there, but it just didn't go in. And now, I had a rebound there, too. And so I just got to bear down and beat him and be focused here, and even more than I was the last period. So I think we'll get to him. I think, he's a great goaltender, but we got to get in front of him. We got to get shots through and deflections and tips and screens and everything you can to beat a good goaltender.
All right, Josh, thanks a lot. The Wolverines lead the all-time series against Michigan State, but tonight's game is the one they really want to get for the CCHA standings. Coming up, we'll talk a little bit about this rivalry from more of the upperclassmen, so stay with us. It's all next. Well, there's no straddling the fence when it comes to Michigan and Michigan State. You're either maize and blue or you're going for the green and white. Welcome back to Joe Louis Arena, and this rivalry is heated as ever. Number 1 Michigan State against number 7 Michigan. Now, in last November, when Michigan State defeated Michigan at Yost, the seniors on Michigan State compiled an 8-3-2 lifetime record against the Wolverines, and that's something that the Wolverines are well aware of as they enter the game tonight.
When you come to Michigan and you're looking at Michigan as a school, I mean, the one thing Coach Berenson always says is, you know, you're going to have the opportunity to play against Michigan State, and these are the types of games that you want to play in.
I think the emotion starts building up during the week, and the intensity picks up in practice, and you know, there's no screwing around this week.
You know, as a Wolverine, we want to come out on top and do whatever it takes, whether it's, you know, finishing a guy, hitting him hard, you know, maybe giving him an extra shot and trying not to get a penalty. It's kind of like you bring half your fans, we'll bring half our fans, and we'll just battle out in the back alley.
Other than that, it's just another game that happens to be down at the Joe.
This rivalry breaks up families across the state.
Yeah. Fortunately for me, I'm from Minnesota.
Coming from out west in Calgary, the closest thing I can compare it to is Calgary and Edmonton, the Battle of Alberta back in the heyday when the Oilers had Gretzky.
What would you compare this rivalry to? Is there anything like it?
Maybe Red Wings Dallas, or something like that, just any big rivalry. I mean, this is it.
I've been in rivalries before, being in juniors with 2 junior teams in basically the same hometown. That was a big rivalry, but this is that times 10.
I think it's important for us as a class just because, you know, we've won games that are bigger than the Michigan State game, but yet we do not have the victories over Michigan State that we'd like. I will probably always remember Josh Blackburn's first game back after he had been hurt for a couple months, going into Munn, and we shut out the Spartans and at Munn 2-0, and we had the little, you know, fisticuffs incident at the end of the game at Munn. Unfortunately, wasn't playing that game, so I watched it from the stands, but I got a great view of how it happened and saw Gasser get in there and throw some pretty good punches.
My most memorable is scoring the first goal against, my first collegiate goal against them down at their rink. I still remember that first game, my freshman year down in their building when we won. It was supposed to be the loudest building we were going to go into, and the guys had just built it up into this big thing. Went in there and it was quiet, and we had the whole game. And then to go down there again this year and start off the season with a win down there was equally as great.
They're on our list, you know, they're on the teams we owe, so, you know, we want to get them back.
You know, we're looking for a little revenge, but, you know, we're more interested in trying to catch them in the standings right now.
Now, with any good rivalry, among the animosity, there is a bunch of respect between the two teams. That's something both sides talked about as well. Well, Rustin Dolany, one of the upperclassmen in the game tonight, he gets a goal as the Spartans lead 1-0. Fred and Ken coming up next.
Number 1 in the nation and the CCHA, the Michigan State Spartans bring a 1-0 lead into period number 2. And they've got that lead courtesy of Rustin Dolany's 9th goal of the season, number 9 for number 19, and for Dolany, just his 4th goal, regular strength this season, as he snaps one high, glove side, on Josh Blackburn. And Ryan Miller, well, the zeros continue. Ryan Miller adding another 20 minutes to his shutout string, which has now reached that total. The all-time record is 375 minutes plus, set by a Lake State goaltender by the name of Blaine Locker.
That's
and he
6
had
games and something, huh?
He had, well, it was actually 5 straight shutouts, bookends on either game, but the 5th shutout in that streak was against the Michigan State Spartans.
In this building, if I'm not mistaken. I have been before, but I think it was right in this building when it was snapped. So maybe the Wolverines are taking that as a bit of good luck. Not sure. So the Wolverines to our right, and a penalty coming up here. Michigan will go to a power play. 15 seconds into the second. Tripping penalty here against the Spartans.
And who is in tow to the box? With referee Steve Petrusky, John Nail. will head to the box, and we'll see the Wolverines power play, which has been as productive, a little bit more productive, as you see Nail trip up his check along the left wing boards in the dump in. Wolverines have scored 39 power play goals on 175 chances. That's a success rate of 22.3%. Keys on the power play, Hilbert and Gilson both have been on the ice for 24 of those 39 power play goals for Michigan.
Over the past 7 games, the Wolverines have really spread out their production. 13 players with goals, 15 with at least a point.
Although the Spartans defensively have not allowed a power play goal in the month of January, they have successfully killed all 28 power play opportunities that opposition teams have enjoyed or not enjoyed.
In hindsight, yes. Can't get through, and puck was sticking there on the ice. Ryan Miller leaving it. Brad Fast fired around. Weird bounce in front, came right back to Fast. He's hooked. And with some help from Whitten, gets it down the ice.
Part of that Spartans PK success is the puck handling ability of Ryan Miller. Got a bad bounce off the boards there, but he had a nice set for defenseman Andrew Hutchinson. They should have gotten it out.
No icing called there. And Maloney gets it to center, although nowhere near the puck handling ability of Chad Albert.
No, but he was in a special class.
Wasn't he? He along with Turco, former Wolverine netminder. Two of the best at that. Turco told me when I saw him in Dallas that he's calmed that part of his game down a bit at the NHL level.
Chad Albert, meantime, in the West Coast Hockey League. That last report.
Maloney gets it to center. Mike Rominski. A half minute to go in this Michigan Wolverine power play. It was a good first period. Will the second be even better? Fired back in deep. Mark Mick out front. And getting a piece of that was Insana. Heavy collision into the boards. Fired in. 10 seconds left in the Wolverine power play. Back it comes to the line. Rominski in. Finney out front. Mink's side of the goal. Nails out of the box. Center. They score! The shutout streak is over. The Michigan Wolverines an even strength goal tie up this game 1-1.
Well, Josh Langfeld sitting on the back porch. And Langfeld pots his 10th goal of the season. Wolverines have tied, and the shutout streak expires at 229 minutes and 29 seconds as Mark Mink with the cross crease feed and Langfeld with the tap in behind Miller. And this game is tied at the 2:17 mark of period number 2.
Good reason to celebrate for the Michigan Wolverines. Josh Langfeld, you can see he's still pumped on the bench. They did not want to be the victim of an NCAA record, courtesy of that man, number 39, Ryan Miller, whose scoreless streak is broken. He will have many more games this year with which to try to set it, and he probably will.
Well, it's only a matter of time before Wally Easton's record falls, that 70-year-old record, but it's not going to be tonight as the Wolverines battle back. You know, this is probably a bigger game as far as the conference goes for the Wolverines than the Spartans. Coming into tonight's game, Michigan State with a 14-1-3 CCHA record, good for 31 points, and Red Berenson's Wolverines 5 points behind, 26 points courtesy of a 12-4-2 record, and this is the second of 4 conference matchups between these two teams. So Ron Mason knows if he comes out with a point or two tonight, it's going to be awfully tough for the Wolverines to overhaul. But if the Wolverines can pick up 2 points and break the state momentum, well, that's going to make the next meeting between these two teams even bigger and put a little bit more pressure on the Spartans.
Well, plenty of discussion after that goal. Ron Mason wanted to know from the referee.
I would imagine an in-the-crease violation.
I would think so, too. And there's a shot in that Miller will handle. Here, let's look at it again. And remember, you cannot go into the crease. And on a power play, whistle will go. Face-off will come out.
Let's look at the skates of Josh Langfeld. perfectly legal.
Seems okay there.
You can have your stick in there. Nothing wrong with that. That's a counter all the way, and as soon as Coach Mason sees the video afterwards, I'm sure he'll be the first to acknowledge that.
Langfeld scoring from Mink and Shania at 2:17. Dolany scored in the first period. It's a 1-1 tie. Michigan State unbeaten in their last 6 versus the Wolverines at the Joe. 5-0-1 dating back to March of '97. So State's had their number here against the Wolverines lately, but with that goal, the Michigan Wolverines likely getting even more into their legs now. Preston Dolany. Blackburn can't find it. Belt down, rebound block. Ferguson back to the line. Shooting, and it's blocked as Hutchinson let it go. He laid on the hook. Manska couldn't get free. Here's a break in right wing side. Bogle in a goal, and he shot it wide. Nice play by Andrew Bogle, though, to turn around and get that attempt.
Really showed great patience. Ran out of ice, though. He was in awfully tight against Blackburn.
Bodies flying everywhere. Clear to center. Good defensive play by Andrew Nail. Or John Nail, rather. Well, with Bogle, got a good shift here. Nail knocked off stride. Cammalleri played it across. Hilbert from his knees, the net is off.
Well, the Spartans, after surrendering the first goal they've given up in nearly 230 minutes, come back with a great chance. Andrew Bogle avoiding the poke check, knows he has to go to the backhand, but as he released, he was always almost at the goal line. And moments before, some tense moments for Josh Blackburn. He looks over his left shoulder, the puck was actually on the right side, and his defenseman had good positioning, was able to clear. Andrew Bogle, part of that group of 5 senior forwards for Ron Mason Spartans, who have combined for 14 of their 21 game-winning goals this season.
Andrew Bogle, the team's leading scorer in the month of January. Bouncing puck. Hatchell. Banked it to center. Wolverines will flip it back in. And in their previous meeting here, we talked about that 1-0 state win. As knocked down to the ice was Lyles. Here come the Spartans in. Michigan State had scored a first period goal by Rustin Dolany at Yost and made it stand up for a 1-0 lead. Dolany had scored in the first here again tonight, but Michigan has tied it. Shot deflected wide as Patchell was in there, turning Mike Cammalleri. He comes to the line. Nearly finished, but could not. Taken by John Nail and cleared.
He almost dangled coast to coast, did Mike Cammalleri. Just stopped by his skate blade.
Dave Hunsinger. Hunsinger shoots one in. Just missed a hit as Maloney went flying in. Craig Murray in there doing battle.
Second period has taken on a more physical flair. They're really laying on the body.
Trainer and Murray. Tim Herron, number 7 for the Spartans, trying to tie it up, and they'll hold it long enough, they say, to get a whistle.
How physical has it been? Joe Coates will lay the shoulder into John Michael Lyles, and usually the smooth skating, Lyles is able to carry the puck out. That time he got crunched by Joe Coates, who scored a game-winning goal in triple overtime a year ago May at the Gold Cup National Championships, got his Green Bay Gamblers into the championship game. Joe Coates out of the Plain, Illinois, in the Chicago area.
Michigan leading state in the shot department, 4-0. His second period. Ken Daniels along with Fred Fletch. Shireen Saski, our producer Mark Isofano, our director Karen Roncelli. As always, Chuck Fair keeping us in line here in the booth. And Greg Innes has made a guest appearance to be our statistician here tonight on Fox Sports Net. I'm glad you're all along with us here tonight, enjoying this Saturday evening. Blackburn will come out and stop it behind the net. Wolverines to center, shooting one in. Ryan Miller, blocker stop. Going to center out front. Whitten knocked it away. Mink on it. Back to the line, getting there first though. Rustin Dolaney accelerating through center with Whitten. The pass to him knocked down. Whitten took a bit of a stick, delayed offside. And the whistle will go as it hit a Spartan player, and they'll have words here. Whitten, I don't think, liked the way that stick came up and caught him in the shield. Here's a look.
Well, Whitten.
Well, he had a beef there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Andy Burns brought the lumber right underneath the chin strap of Damon Whitten. Damon Whitten says, you know, if I was still playing goal, this wouldn't happen like that.
Yeah.
Damon Whitten, as we have told you before, was a goaltender all the way up until his junior year in high school out in Brighton. And that junior season he split, playing forward and playing goal, became a full-time forward in his senior year, and now he's a fully productive senior member of the Spartans offense.
Did you ever ask him if he thought he could have made it as a goalie? Deflect up into the seats and out of play. He was obviously, though, a pretty good scorer, a pretty good skater, and you have to be a good skater, too, to be a goaltender. The Wolverines celebrate here in a 1-1 tie.
This has been a tough week for Andy Burns and the Burns family in general. Andy, of course, a Wolverine, but his parents are both Spartans. His sister is a Spartan. And I asked Andy, how tough is this week? He said they're pretty good. They don't tease him too much. And when his parents are here at the game, they wear the maize and blue. Ken?
All right, Fred?
Well, Andy Burns, just a fierce competitor. Remember, it was 9-0 for Michigan on Tuesday night over Notre Dame. And here's Andy Burns sliding back to knock the puck off the stick of Rob Glopke on a partial breakaway. He just hates to give up a goal to the opposition.
Puck up high, Maloney. With a hard hit, a hand pass called. So there will be a face-off coming up closer to the Wolverine end.
Well, everybody got in on the action on Tuesday night when the Wolverines blew out the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame by a score of 9-0. That number one line of Cammalleri, Hilbert, and Koch teaming up for 11 points. Mark Kosick with his second career hat trick. Cammalleri also with the 3-goal game, and their coach Red Berenson knows a thing or two about scoring a hat trick for Michigan. He's their all-time leader in terms of hat tricks, had 8 in one season.
Well, Michigan, the last 2 games coming into this one, last 2 games in 8 minutes, they're averaging a goal every 10 minutes of play, thanks in large part to the demolition of the Fighting Irish 9-0 at Yost on Tuesday. Big hit there. The Wolverines bring it in. Koch. Knocked away. Cammalleri staying with it. Oh, and the net came off as Hilbert went in.
Well, John Nail had driven Andy Hilbert into the boards inside the Michigan blue line. And then there's the hit inside the Michigan blue line, and at the other end of the ice, as they went to the net, it was Hilbert as well being knocked into the goal, and netminder Ryan Miller, Andrew Bogle that time. And there was some, I wouldn't say controversy, but in the Tuesday night game when the Michigan State Spartans blanked Lake Superior State 3-0, the Spartans thought that a couple of the Lakers were guilty of going out of their way to take liberties with Ryan Miller, and that led to the disqualification from the game of Joe Markison. And right here, it was Bogle on the back check with Hilbert still skating, shoved him into the crossbar, knocked the net loose, and Wolverines get a second power play chance against the least penalized team in the CCHA.
Rustin Dolaney as the Spartans are shorthanded. And he turns back. Michigan Wolverines power play, and this will be icing against Michigan as that failed to work.
Well, the first goal scored by the Wolverines by Langfeld was not a power play goal, but it came as a result of power play pressure. The penalty had just expired. The Spartans penalized player was not yet back into the play, so it does not count officially as a power play goal for the Wolverines, but it certainly was, as Langfeld was able to tap in the goal mouth feed coming off the stick of Mark Mink. And Josh Langfeld really trying to redefine himself as a forward, as a right winger for the Wolverines. You know, he had 14 points in the first 8 games of the season, but just 5 points in the 20 games since, so that was a huge confidence-boosting goal for Josh Langfeld.
Off the draw, the Wolverines. Burns to center. Shooting in, Miller left it behind the goal. Half boards and swept back down by Dolany. Blackburn. Romensky. Dolany at pressuring. Stayed with it. On Burns. Good play by Dolany. Michigan in across the line on this manpower advantage. Mink to the middle off a skate and cleared by Hall to center. Romensky on it.
Hilbert line was out when the penalty took place, so this is the second unit of the Wolverines power play. They're getting their top line out there right now as Cammalleri works with Gilson.
Gilson takes. He's chopped at a couple of times by Maloney. And Gilson gave Maloney the stick back. We've let a lot of stick work go here tonight.
Good work by Maloney to win the battle for the loose puck along the boards and force the Wolverines to regroup.
Cammalleri faked the shot, kept on the puck. Good feed left wing side into Hilbert. Passed across. Bensick. Gilson. He's ridden into the boards, and here comes Hall. Hall went down. Bensick takes. Up across the line. Puck loose. To the middle. Bensick had his stick lifted. Not once, but twice. Penalty over. Hilbert. Back to the line. Shot is knocked down. 3 Spartans up. Hutchinson. He ran out of real estate. Ferguson staying with it. Played the lumber on Hilbert. Cleared it off his own man to the line, but not out. Whitman behind the goal to Dolany. Passed out front and getting over is Blackburn. He's able to hang on.
Josh Blackburn bailing out his teammates. Dolany centering from behind the goal. Ferguson with a chance. And that came just a few seconds after the Wolverines had a chance to get the puck out. Tried to go up the middle with it rather than off the boards or off the glass. And Josh Blackburn sensing that, you know, a power play just ended. We might not have the right personnel out for 5-on-5 hockey. So let's get a break and make sure we do.
Hosky. Up there along with Steve Jackson. A line that doesn't get a whole lot of ice time, along with Goodnow. That hit Joe Goodnow on the way in. He had missed the last 6 and 14 overall with a shoulder injury as Joe Goodnow. There's a trip. No call. Moving in. Insana, the shot. Off to the corner. Matska. Bumped hard as Steve Jackson stepped into him. Icing coming up, and the faceoff will come back into the Wolverine zone as number 11, Steve Jackson, making up for maybe a lack of ice time, laying on a big hit.
Well, Steve Jackson, a good shoulder hit on Scott Matska. You know, Jackson was a teammate with 5 members of the Michigan Wolverines. Mark Mink, along with John Chenet of Burns, Rominski and Swistek. They all played together on a 1999 USA Hockey Gold Cup Championship team out of Plymouth, and the Compy were ambassadors. And Steve Jackson, the only one of that group who wound up at state. Everybody else opted to go with the Wolverines.
Off the draw. Gilson. Timming. Stepping up. Andrew Hutchinson. Gilson will try again. Adam Hall to dump it back in. Romensky. Angled one back and a bouncing puck. And just across the line for an automatic icing. We're past the halfway point here in this hockey game.
All the attention focused on Ryan Miller, but Josh Blackburn says, hey, what about me? And what about Blackburn? He has made some spectacular, some solid saves tonight. Very active. He has been diving out. There has been traffic in his crease all night long. That was a good stop off. Whitten got the rebound as well. The 22-year-old from Chutouts, Oklahoma, always makes the first save. If you're going to beat Josh Blackburn, it's usually going to have to be a rebound, although Rustin Dolany an exception to that with his first period goal.
Cammalleri in to get it for the Wolverines. Gretzky's shot, and that will be called on the offside. Well, this year, Fred, they will play for the Ron Mason Cup, emblematic of CCHA supremacy. When they approached him with the idea, he wasn't sure how he felt, but then Ron said, usually they name trophies after dead people, so I guess this is an honor. I'm around to see it. But how strange it'll be if they're going for it, and obviously Michigan State will for the CCHA title. They'll probably be around in the end. Whether they win or not remains to be seen, but it'll be different, won't it?
Well, he also has the 885 career victories. He said, that's the fun part. People forget with that many wins. That's 4,000 practices I've conducted too.
Quick shot just wide of the goal. A trophy for CCHA supremacy named after Ron. This is the first year. In his honor, Hutchinson sailed off the high glass, bounces down for Hilbert.
Well, if you're going to hit double digits, Ron Mason, he's got 9 CCHA playoff titles. Double digits would be with the Mason Trophy.
Puck underneath, and they'll get a stop and play, neutral ice. And Ron Mason last weekend, CCHA game number 700, coached his 400th CCHA regular season victory behind the Spartans bench. So the numbers just keep on going.
And it's a way for coaches, Ron Mason, Red Berenson, no different, keeps them youthful, revitalizes them. Both are men who simply love going to work each and every day. They've been going to rinks all their life, and they'll continue to do so.
Red Berenson, his 17th season as coach of the Wolverines, 15th winning as coach in NCAA history. We'll battle again, and we'll do it all over again. Other side this time for another face-off. And in the 90s, the Wolverines, the only school to qualify for all 10 NCAA tourneys in the decade.
10 straight for the Wolverines. Mike Cammalleri rated very highly. The National Hockey League draft that is going to take place in June down in Miami. Ron Mason can be there, do double duty, a little deep sea fishing, and also look after some of his Spartans, and they'll also take pride in other CCHA players who get drafted.
And a wraparound attempt there that Ryan Miller will hang on to, so the play has slowed considerably here in the middle stanza.
Josh Langfeld talking to Mel Pearson this week. He says Josh is really trying to redefine himself as a forward. He's kind of caught between being a power forward, which he should be at that size, 6'3", 220, or a finesse guy. He seems to be going a little bit of the finesse way, not paying the price physically. Had that great first season when he scored 19 goals. And Mel Pearson saying that he needs to exert himself physically, and the goals will come. And they're hoping that Josh Langfeld can continue to do that. He did it once tonight, right at the net, paying the price to get to the net, and then tapping in the Mark McPhee.
Off the face-off, the shot is blocked from Vancic as Kosick won that draw. Posick behind the net. Turning with it. Chased by Insana. Left there in deep. Cammalleri half boards. Posick in there to find that puck in skates. Beaten to it, hard around, cleared. Vancic goes back for it.
Jay Vancic led the Wolverines with a plus 29 rating last season, and Wolverines obviously glad to get him back into the lineup full time.
Lead feed into the middle. Nice move! The shot! Off the post! They score! Shania has made it 2-1.
John Shania almost as good on his edges as Mike Cammalleri, and watch him dance through the defense. Shania got an opening, one move, he puts on J.M. Lyles, then he gets a little luck. Did it go off the stick or the goalpost and then the back of Brian Miller? I think he tapped it out of midair and off Brian Miller's back. Let's take a look. It's going wide. Hey, what a play by John Shania. Is that reflex action? We know the goalies have them, but so too does John Shania as he gives the Wolverines the lead.
And it is crossbar height for the stick, and that was just underneath. Great coordination there to make it 2-1. Knocked down was Whitten. No call. Spartans wanted one. Mink out front of the goal. Michigan. Lead feed. Mink. Sent in deep. Spartans nailed. Second try gets it down the ice, but this will be icing against Michigan State. Well, not since Michigan Tech scored 2 December 30th at the GLI have the Spartans allowed 2 goals.
Well, J.M. Lyles playing the puck, not the body, and John Shania with a little backhanded tap. And as Ken said, the key, the stick when it makes contact with the puck is below crossbar height. And John Shania has given the Wolverines the lead. And you'd have to go back to Lake States. The last time the Wolverines trailed in a hockey game, they trailed for the better part of 2 periods before tying it with Ryan Miller on the bench for an extra skater.
Side of the goal, knocked behind by Blackburn. Joseph, dangerous pass right up the middle, scooped up by the Spartans, and they say out across the line. Boy, that was close, and Insana doesn't like it. That was very close at the line. Michigan has outshot State 7-1 here in the second period. Shania scoring from Couts at 12:39. And was that out across the line? Take a look right here.
Well,
no, it was not.
Well, it was very, very close. I think the puck was rolling up on its edge.
The whole puck's got to be
from that, but the linesman is blocked out by John Insana. So was he guessing a bit? Assistant referee, I think in that case, what he's looking at is the stick blade of Insana.
But the Spartans get it in anyway. Nail was right in on top of Blackburn at a good opportunity. Bogle in the corner. Behind the goal, Nail goes to get it. Turn back in behind Craig Murray. Number 14 for the Wolverines. Pass ahead to Koch. Return feed picked off. Wolverines start deep in their own zone. Over 5 to go here in the second, and a 2-1 Michigan Wolverines lead. Craig Murray Hits the feet going through center. Quick shot! And Ryan Miller grabs that one and hangs on. So as we mentioned, not since the GLI in this building December 30th had Ryan Miller allowed 2 goals.
Well, you saw it right here on Fox Sports Net. Michigan Tech getting 2 against Ryan Miller, but one of those went in off of skates 9 times this season, and the first time Ryan Miller allowed 2, he lost 2-1 against Nebraska Omaha. The Mavericks beat him. Of the 9 times he's allowed 2, that's the only setback on the season. Of course, it has to be. The Spartans have only lost 1 game all year. Right now, they've got their 23-game team record tying unbeaten streak on the line as the Wolverines threaten that.
Off the face-off, Wolverines control. Shot in, Miller blocked that. Blackburn out to stop it behind the goal. Fired it to the corner with Adam Hall coming. Murray hooked. Nudged it ahead. Vancek's pass in behind, but Wolverines get a break. In the middle, knocked away. Good play by Lyle. Moved out to center. Langfeld scoops it up. Here he comes. In with Matska. To Matska. And well covered inside the line by John Michael Lyles. Adam Hall. Spartans want to change. Get over center and dump it in.
Much better period all the way around to the Wolverines. Aside from the 2 goals, they have had the better of the chances and really pressured the Spartans defense, which of course is down to just 4 performers tonight.
Ferguson scores! Troy Ferguson kicked the short side. Tie game, 2-2.
Troy Ferguson ties it up. He assisted in the first period goal by Rustin Dolany. And he walks to the goal and sees room short side. It looked like Blackburn was trying to flash him a little spaced 5-hole and then cut it off, but instead the puck will go short side against the glove of Josh Blackburn. And Sheldon Ferguson is in the building tonight, and he's just seen his son score his first goal of the season, and it's a huge one. Sheldon Ferguson, Director of Player Personnel for the Carolina Hurricanes, so mixing a little personal pleasure with business tonight.
Well, he probably saw the Red Wings play last night. It can be a business trip.
Well, Troy Ferguson, aside from his father working for the Carolina Hurricanes, he's also NHL draft property of the Carolina Hurricanes, as the Hurricanes selected Troy in the 4th round a couple of years back with the 91st selection overall. And Brad Fast, also a Carolina Hurricanes draft pick in the 3rd round in 1999. So quite a Carolina connection to this Spartans club.
Ferguson and Dolany combining on both goals. Ferguson from Dolany, 15:51 to tie it. Dolany had scored from Ferguson and Whitten in the first period. Langfeld and Chania have scored from Michigan. The Spartans led it 1-0 after 1. It's now 2-2, late stages of the second. In case you joined us late here on Fox Sports Net, this has been a good game. Blackburn stopped the rebound, and Nail just failed to get there in time. Hilbert put it ahead. Cammalleri with Koch. Fakes the shot. Koch the rebound, and off the side of the goal. As Cammalleri made a nice move. Here comes Adam Hall to center. Lead feed Maloney off the side of the goal with the fan standing in behind Blackburn. Maloney. Pass across, blocked. Cleared back down. Shireen Sasky, what do you have?
Ken, coming up in intermission, we'll talk to John Nail about the Spartans' unbeaten streak. He's been through both of the 23-game unbeaten streaks. We'll get his opinion. Also, the CCHA Commissioner, Tom Anastas. Ken?
Thank you. That's 2:38 playing time from now. Tom Anastas named in the recent edition of the Hockey News, who was a 4-year letter winner under Ron Mason in the early 80s, current commissioner of the CCHA, mentioned as one of the 4 rising influences in the game of hockey. So congratulations to Tom and the attention he's receiving in the hockey world, as well he should.
And he also suited up in the alumni game this afternoon between the Spartans and the Wolverines. Had his Spartans green jersey on and his Montreal Canadiens socks. He was a Montreal Canadiens draft pick and played in Sherbrooke, I believe, under or he played in Sherbrooke with Claude Lemieux, who is public enemy #1 here. Also, one of the things Shireen will be in discussion with the commissioner about, there's some talk of a corporate sponsor for the CCHA, so it'll be interesting to get those thoughts.
And there's a look at Joe Goodenow, son of Bob, who was named as #2 influential in hockey. There's a shot that Blackburn stops. Bob Goodenow, the second rated behind the Commissioner Gary Bettman, and he's the father of Joe Goodenow, is Bob Goodenow, the director of the NHL Players Association. And there's another Spartan tie to the 100 most powerful individuals in hockey from the recent Hockey News. Harley Hotchkiss, #22 in 1950. MSU graduate and captain of the Spartan hockey team, is a senior, currently owns the NHL's Calgary Flames and heads the league's Board of Governors. Face-off coming up to the right of Blackburn. To the corner it goes. Vancic being hooked. Jay Vancic skates it to center ice. Langfeld. Craig Murray trying to get there, tied up by Lyles. Murray stays with it. Lyles pushed it to the line, not out. Vancic's shot rising over top of Miller. Another shot now to the opposite corner. Put to center ice. Here comes Rustin Dolany. A goal and an assist tonight. Thomas Sarek, just flattened the man who tied the game, Troy Ferguson. Wolverines come wide into the zone. Thomas Sarek and flatten at the other end by Lyles. Puck loose. Sent to the corner by Metzger. Cammalleri blocks. Langfeld sends it in. Flip pass by Michigan State. Offside as the Spartans touch that. And the fists come up. Whitten in there along with Andy Burns. We've got penalties, I believe.
Well, coming up later, it's the 11 p.m. Regional Sports Report. 30 minutes of sports news dedicated to Detroit's home teams. The 11 p.m. Regional Sports Report tonight on Fox Sports Net. Some of the headlines today: Pistons Bucks highlights, college hoops wrap up. Spartans had a tough one today in Columbus. And the captain, Steve Yzerman, just keeps on reaching new milestones.
6th all-time alone in NHL point parade. Here's the penalty after the whistle.
Burns and Whitten tied up. And discipline, composure, so important. Damon Whitten in the box along with Andy Burns, offsetting minors. So go down the bench and get the guys who can dangle out there. And Mike Cammalleri certainly fills that category.
Feet in Insana. There's a shot! Scores! John Insana! It's 3-2 for State. There's one Blackburn wants to have back.
Absolutely. Josh Blackburn is going to make that save 99 times out of 100. Let's see if it goes off anything. Yep,
it did.
I think it did. It went off the defenseman's stick and dipped on Josh Blackburn.
How often do goalies tell you, get your stick out of the way, let me take it myself, and that's just enough to maybe throw him off.
That's all it was. He was expecting the puck to come about 18 inches high. Watch the stick of the defenseman as we slow it down. Just a little redirect, and the puck dips down underneath the left pad of Josh Blackburn. Huge last-minute goal for the Michigan State Spartans.
So what will Red Berenson say to his team? They know that they've had their chances here. Bad goal let in, but they're very much in it. But always a backbreaker when they come after two. Camalleri's shot is stopped by Miller. He'll hang on to that. John Insana gets his second goal of the season. The new Baltimore, Michigan native, the junior.
And a goal from an unexpected source, really. John Insana, you're going to get a goal from the back end. You look at Brad Fast or J.M. Lyles with his 5, and John Insana contributes. That's the way it's been for the Spartans all season long. Who's going to step up tonight?
And when Michigan State leads after 2 periods of play, they are 16-0-2. 1-5-2 are the Wolverines when they trail after 2. Miller stopped it. Another stop from in behind. Picked off at center. They kept it onside. That shot wide of Miller. Point shot, Bensick. That went wide. Over there to get it, Cammalleri. 5 seconds to go. And that will do it. So the Spartans, who led 1-0 after 1, now in somewhat surprising fashion.
Well, Ryan Miller's shutout streak is over, but the Spartans' undefeated streak can continue. And they can set a new club record if they can protect this lead in the 3rd period. And that has been a specialty item with the Spartans, protecting leads.
58 seconds to go in the period when Insana scored unassisted. 19-0-2. The shots are 20-20. We had 4 goals in that 2nd period. Michigan had a short-lived lead. Ferguson tied it, and then John Insana untied it. We'll be back.
As Bob Gassoff called it, the battle in the back alley, Michigan and Michigan State here at Joe Louis Arena. And, of course, the Spartans trying to keep that unbeaten streak alive, 23 games and counting. John Nail has been a part of 2 of those unbeaten streaks. How does this one compare to the last one?
This is a battle like every battle is a key battle. I mean, it's going back and forth in terms of goals, so you have to keep your mind in the game throughout the whole entire shift. Else, if you one little lax, like if you get lackadaisical, then it could cost you the game. So it's really tight right now. We have to be careful.
How much tonight were you thinking of Ryan Miller and getting him that shutout?
We tried to keep that out of our mind because our number one focus is the game itself, and then if you win games, the good parts, like Ryan Miller's shutout, our unbeaten streak, comes after the win. You know what I mean? Like we try to keep our mind focused on the win. So
23-game unbeaten streak and counting. You've been through this a couple of years ago. How is it different this time?
I think this time we're just trying to not think about it. Like I said before, it's once we start thinking about it, then we start changing our game, and I think it's our game, our style of game, that's let us win this much or let us play as well as we have. So we're trying to keep within our system and not think about it as much.
4 goals scored in the 2nd period, things kind of opening up and also heating up on the ice. The play getting a little more physical out there?
Yeah, we always have to keep our head up, and even the game, the tempo of the game is like that hit right there. I was kind of sandwiched between 2 guys. I had nowhere to go, and I had to take a hit to get the puck deep. But things like that, we always got to keep our head up and just keep working. Hopefully something will a puck will pop loose, and we'll get an opportunity out of it.
In this period, you actually trailed 2-1 in the game. I mean, that doesn't happen to the Spartans much this year.
No, you're right. We we had to battle back through the period, but it's a key to come out of the period with a 1-0 or a 1-goal lead. So we're going to keep working for the third, and hopefully we could keep the 1-goal lead.
Not many shots on goals for you, 6 shots in the second period, yet you did have some chances.
Yeah, I think Michigan came at us pretty hard in the second period. This play right here, I had an opportunity for a rebound shot, and the defenseman just got it right before I had a chance to whack at it. So we have to keep plugging away, and hopefully we'll get some chances and get some shots this period. But we're still trying to keep them off the scoreboard as well as playing our defensive game. So
CCHA points involved tonight. Michigan State trying to maintain that 5-point lead over Michigan. Coming up, we'll talk to a former Spartan who knows a lot about this rivalry, but tonight he has to be impartial. He's the CCHA commissioner. We'll be back after this.
Thank you.
Michigan and Michigan State, and, well, who says that we all can't just get along on a night like tonight? A couple of youngsters getting the right idea. This is all just fun and games, isn't it? Tom?
It is. It is. It is. That's what it's all about, having fun.
Tom Anastas, the commissioner of the CCHA, is very familiar with this rivalry, playing for the Spartans in the early to mid-'80s. What's one of your favorite memories?
Oh, I have a lot of them. I remember my first game. I was at Yost Arena, and it was a tough place to play. I think we tied the game, and I just remember the atmosphere. But the intensity level of the games, it's at another level, and that's what stands out most to me.
Now you have 12 teams, though, that you have to root for. So what do you do tonight?
I sit up very quietly and I watch the game, and I hope that everything goes smoothly and there's no controversial goals, and I hope it's well played. And so far through 2 periods, it's a very exciting game, and all these people who are in this building are enjoying it, I'm sure.
These people enjoying this one. They missed a good game earlier today. The alumni getting together. That's an annual event that the Michigan and Michigan State alumni get together. And look at this guy out there, a superstar.
Yeah, are they playing that in slow motion or what? They have to speed that up a bit. Yeah, we had a great time. This is the first time I've played in the Michigan State alumni game, and I think I was -3 there. I shot it over the net there, and I think the play is going to go the other way, and instead of back checking, I'll probably change. Watch. I'm going right. I'm going right to the bench there. But we had a great time. It was nice to see a lot of the guys that I had played with, and at the same time, it was nice to see a lot of the guys that I played against at Michigan that I haven't seen in years.
Final score 7-2 Wolverines. What happened to you guys?
You know, I don't remember the score. I got amnesia after the game, but I do remember I was -3, so they had a better team. They stuck it to us pretty good today.
Well, this is a great time for the CCHA. A lot of innovative things happening. Among that, the league is looking for a sponsor.
Yeah, we think that it's important to always try to find ways to secure more revenue and support our revenue base. No different than anybody else is doing in sports. And we've got to be creative in ways we approach it. So we've struck a deal with General Sports based out of Rochester here, and we're going to try to explore opportunities that may exist and tie a sponsor into our conference name. And we'll see how it goes. We're not set on doing it, but we want to explore it, see if there are opportunities out there. And when you see games like this and the atmosphere, I think there's a lot of companies that would be interested in potentially tying into a conference like ours.
This is an idea that's really unprecedented. How did it come about?
We were just throwing ideas out, seeing maybe ways that we can enhance our revenue base. And I was interviewed once, and somebody said it might be a little radical, and you see all the bowls sponsored by somebody, and we thought, hey, let's go take a look at this and see if it will work, because from a conference perspective, it's very difficult to just bring in league sponsors with all the individual sponsorship deals that each school has. So it's very hard to find. Somebody has Coke, somebody else has Pepsi. It's hard to find those holes that don't have exclusive arrangements within a 12-member league. So we're going to take this approach and see where it goes.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, and good luck in that endeavor.
Thank you.
Tom Anastas, the commissioner of the CCHA, one of thousands on hand tonight, a near-packed house here at Joe Louis Arena. Stand by. Ken and Fred coming up with more.
Welcome back to the Joe Louis Arena and the CCHA Clash of the Titans. Michigan State Spartans leading the Michigan Wolverines by a score of 3-2. Josh Langfeld ended Ryan Miller's shutout string at 229 minutes and 29 seconds and tied this game at 2:17 into the second period. Troy Ferguson, after a John Shania goal, ties it up again for the Spartans, and then John Insana in the final minute with a shot that dipped down off the stick of Scott Metzka, and it's Spartans by a goal heading for period number 3. Langfeld with his 10th of the season, and that ended Miller's shutout string at nearly 230 minutes. Shania gave the Wolverines a short-lived 2-1 lead with a beautiful individual effort, turning J.M. Lyles inside out. Ferguson ties things up, and then John Insana with what is the go-ahead goal. And look at the time, 19:02. That is the 14th time this season the Michigan State Spartans have scored in either the final minute of a period or overtime. 14 times. We all know how deflating that can be to the opposition when you score late.
They start this third period for a sign. The Wolverines center out in front. They score! Cammalleri! That took just 14 seconds. It's a 3-3 tie.
Cammalleri with those quick hands. And this is a goal scorer's goal, because watch how quickly he gets it up. Cammalleri will be on the backhand as it comes out front, and he's got to get it upstairs. Not every player in this game is going to get that goal. Watch Cammalleri. He's in tight. He knows he has to get it up, and he almost finds the half-moon part of the netting. We talked about the last-minute goal. First-minute goal can be equally deflating, and that's the experience the Spartans are going through right now.
Long shot. Blackburn stopped that. Here come the Wolverines again. Cammalleri cleared away by Miller. The last time Michigan State or Ryan Miller allowed 3 goals was in an overtime tie at Bowling Green, December 1st, 3-3 final. And they've allowed 4 goals just once all year, back in October at Anchorage, Alaska. The only time Miller's allowed 4. So we'll see if we go back to the start of the year if the Wolverines get another one. Cammalleri scoring from Hilbert. 14 seconds in. Back to the line. Fansick. Shot is blocked.
So make it 16 straight games with at least 1 point for Andy Hilbert. And a fellow by the name of Michael Connell from the Boston Bruins attending this game.
Blackburn stopped that shot from Maloney, and the whistle goes.
And a holding call being assessed by referee Petrosky. It's going against Mike Komisarek. Obstruction holding. So a minute 38 into period number 3, and all kinds of activity and excitement so far. The goal 14 seconds in, and now the Spartans will get a whirl in the power play, trying to regain the lead.
Well, the Edmonton Oilers in the NHL have tonight off. But Sean Horkoff, former Spartan, Mike Comrie, former Wolverine, have a wager on tonight's game. The loser must wear the winner's T-shirt for a day. And Comrie outnumbered in that Oilers dressing room 3-1, what with Anson Carter and Rem Murray in there, former Spartans. So you know they'll be watching this game tonight on the dish on Fox Sports Net. Spartans bring it to center. Shooting it in, 3-3 tie, 2 minutes gone here in the third.
Just the second power play opportunity the Spartans have had tonight. Wolverines 0 for 2, but one of their goals, the first one by Langfeld, came off power play pressure.
Last 2 years between these two schools, and the one game this year, State leads with a 4-3-2 record. A giveaway, stolen, in on goal, twisted, big stop by Miller.
uncharacteristic giveaway there, and Swistak with his second glorious chance of the night.
So it's fitting this one's tied at 3 in the third. Through the 9 games, including this year, State's outscored Michigan by only 2. 1917, it's been that close all along.
Whoops, says J.M. Lyles, and J.J. Swistak walks in, and Ryan Miller really gave him nothing. Swistak got in tight, knew that if he deked, that Ryan Miller was going to poke check him, and Swistak tried to stuff it between Miller's legs. Miller was moving backwards, and J.M. Lyles with that sinking feeling in the pit of his stomach as Swistak works back in, looking for a shorty to give the Wolverines a lead. Instead, Spartans stay on the power play.
They'll shoot it in. Blackburn left it. That hit Matska, but cleared by the Wolverines. Ryan Miller coming out to play it, scoops it along to his defenseman, Brad Fast. Spartans gain the line. In for Ferguson. Back to Fast. Feeds off. Fast gets it back. To the line. That was not a good pass to handle for Andrew Hutchinson. Ferguson. Knocked down, cleared back. Penalty about to expire to Mike Commissaric. Wolverines back at full strength. Control at center. Long shot in, that will be held. An offside called. So face-off coming up. Center ice area, and while I have a moment here, I want to wish a very happy 40th birthday tomorrow to a former Michigan Wolverine, now the director of marketing for the Detroit Red Wings and a driving force behind CCHA hockey here at the Joe, Ted Spears. Happy 40th birthday tomorrow.
Staunch supporter of college hockey at the Joe, and they've just re-upped that agreement, and it will continue for many years to come.
And nice to see. Great building. And upwards of 17 or 18,000 here, if not pushing close to 19 here tonight. Good crowd on hand, and this is why they call it Hockey Town, whether it's junior hockey in the area, college hockey.
And really great for the players, because for some of the lesser lights, I mean, what an experience. You know, playing in front of 20,000 fans, big league atmosphere, big league rink. For others, for the Andy Hilberts and the Adam Halls, it's just more preparation and training for them when they play in the big leagues in front of 20,000 people. Everybody wins.
And we know the Red Wings string of sellouts just goes on and on and on. Back to the line. Vancic put it back into the corner. Off Camalleri's skate. Hilbert over there. Back in front of the goal. Miller quick with the left hand. Cammalleri let it go. Kosick. Good turn. Up front. Miller stopped. Rebound. And it's cleared away. And Michigan State gains center and shot in deep by Andrew Bogle. Lead feed tipped in. Play on side. Koch going after it. Miller shoots around. Blocked in there by Langfeld to Koch. Back for Langfeld. Insana hauls him down. And the Spartans take it. Maloney. Left wing side, right wing shoot in. Quick shot deflected. Off the stick of Adam Hall. Past Josh Blackburn. Huntsinger put it around. Matska back there. Hall to the corner. Huntsinger tied him up. Huntsinger with it now. Dangerous play in front of his own goal, but the Wolverines will bring it out to center ice. Craig Murray shoots it in. Red Berenson wants his team to change on the fly. They do. Rustin Dolany. He scored the first goal of this game and assisted on another. Cleared it to center. Puck knifed ahead. Controlled by Mike Romensky. Back into the Wolverine zone. Shania moved it ahead, goes to the goal, looks for the return feed, and a nice stop there by Ryan Miller off a quick shot. As Matska let it go. Mink. Mark Mink turning. Near boards. Tipped in behind the goal by Matska. Good move in front. Mink's shot was blocked. Romensky put it in. Dolany is sandwiched in deep.
Looks like Michigan's cut back to 3 lines, taking Swistak off the line with Shania and Mink, and getting a little more offense out there in the form of Scott Matska.
This will be icing as Kosick couldn't catch up to that one. So this game is all even thanks to that man, Mike Cammalleri. Third period.
Two highly touted Hobey Baker candidates in Mike Cammalleri and Ryan Miller. And just before the break, they showed us a perfect example why. Watch how good Cammalleri is with his skates, pivoting. Watch that little move right there. Then he'll head to the slot. The puck comes right in his skates. He's able to work it up, get a quick shot away. And Ryan Miller, why is he a Hobey candidate? He's in perfect position as well. Textbook execution by both players.
Mike Cammalleri now has 6 goals his past 4 games with his goal here tonight. Shot went wide, and 8 points his past 4. He's at a point now in 15 of his last 16 games. Backhand shot, and Miller stops that.
Well, what have we said about the best defense being a good offense? If the Wolverines, their philosophy is, if we have the puck, the other team can't score. They've taken Koch temporarily off this first line, moved the red-hot Kosick up with them. Kosick with 4 goals in his last 2 games. And Kosick takes a whirl on the big line with Cammalleri, and Hilbert gets a pretty good chance on a spinorama backhander from the high slot. And he'll stay out as Hilbert and Cammalleri will flip-flop positions on this faceoff, but the Spartans gain possession.
When Cammalleri scores a goal coming into this game tonight, Michigan Wolverines are 9-0-3. Hatchell sent it to center. Cammalleri takes it. Obviously the 13 on his back, not unlucky. Slammed in was Hilbert. Kosick, Hutchison takes it, shoots around. And the Spartans move it up. Sean Patchell left wing. Can't get past Komisarek.
He has been a huge physical presence tonight, Mike Komisarek.
Through Langfeld skates. There goes Komisarek again to get it. Nice patience showing. Rink wide. Cammalleri was going off. That'll angle all the way down to Ryan Miller. Wiles around to Fast. Played it to the corner. Losing an edge there was Ferguson. So the Wolverines able to keep on the pressure. Hooked away, though, by Craig Murray. Could not get a shot. In comes Whitten. He's taken out of the play. Back to the line. Fast. Held it in. Knocked down by the Wolverines. Out they come. Langfeld open. Pass to him. He's in behind. Langfeld looked across. Turns back. Boy, he's open. Langfeld, the shot is blocked. That was sort of a pass across. He wanted to go to Koch. Never made it. Shania out front, knocked down, loose puck. Great hold in there. Romensky shooting, and it's blocked.
Well, 6'3", 220 pounds, that situation, the Wolverines want Langfeld to put his head down and go to the net.
Heavy hit at center, Whitten's hurt. Romensky came over and finished the blow. And Whitten's slow getting up, making his way now to the Spartan bench. Wolverines, Mink shoots one into the left wing corner. Cammalleri back out there. Andrew Hutchison on him, Cammalleri. Just missed getting rocked. Good back checking there by the Wolverines. Here they come again. Mink across, Cammalleri just a knockdown. Good defensive play.
And the puck, everybody's coming back hard, aren't they?
tie it up long enough to get a whistle.
Well, big games mean big goals, big plays, and big hits. Romensky with pursuit, and then Gilson was also on a flyby mission and caught a piece of Damon Whitten, and that looks like the hip pointer, Charlie Horse, leg extremities, and then Gilson on the attack heading for the goal, and Maloney coming back defensively, maybe had the stick wrapping up and tying up Gilson, but Gilson did have the puck, and the referee is going to let them play.
Remember, as we mentioned, their game here last year finished in a 3-3 tie. They're tied at 3 now, approaching the halfway point of the third period. Not much to choose when these two clubs get together. You said offense versus defense tonight. So far, offense winning, because the Wolverines have scored 3, and that maybe wasn't expected to happen. They have the offense to do it, but the way the Spartans have played defense may be a bit of a surprise. Should be a great finish. We'll be back.
Red Wings next action Tuesday when they visit the defending Stanley Cup champion New Jersey Devils. Live coverage begins at 6:30 with John Keating in the pregame show, followed by game action at 7 with Mickey Redmond and Ken Daniels. That's Tuesday. Ken heads to the Swampland here on Fox Sports Net.
And Damon Whitten heads back out to the ice, so he's okay. The Red Wings, 2 games in a row against New Jersey, then Columbus. Boy, that's both ends of it, isn't it? The Devils, and then the Blue Jackets.
Head up, Phil, head up, head up.
And we'll have them both for you right here on Fox Sports Net. 6:30 starts both nights, Tuesday and Wednesday. Chopped at up high, puck to the corner. Battling. Whitten. Bump, point shot. Burns, it went wide. Other side now for Huntsinger, blocked. He'll turn back with it at center. He'll flip one high, misses the glass though, up into the seats and out of play.
Well, it's always a take no prisoners approach when these two teams meet, and tonight no exception. Open ice, crunches against the boards, everybody's finishing, and John Nail getting it as well. Body positioning, and here's Damon Whitten, limped off, went to the training room for just a minute. The trainer said, all you need is a little ice. There's a patch out there, 200 by 85, and Damon says, I'm back up.
Romensky played it across. Ryan Miller shoots it around. Half boards. Romensky getting there. Mink. Shot knocked down. And the Spartans passed by Maloney. Romensky went for a big hit. Mike Romensky, team leading plus 23 coming into this one tonight. He's actually scored 2 goals his last 3 games. Miller deflects that one away. Mink. Adam Hall ricochets to center. Long shot by Gilson as everyone ducking. Shot it in as the team cleared the zone. Wolverines wanted a change. They get one. Commissaric there to knock it down. Back in it goes. Hustling in after it. Joe Counts. Laid on the body. Matska far side. Got Matska in behind. Greg Murray hit his check. Quickly moved ahead over the stick, though, of Joe Couts. Goes all the way down. Brad Fast. In through the middle. Dolaney. Backhanded by Michigan to center, and the Spartans have it. Sent back in. This will be icing against Michigan State with 7:40 to go in the third.
Well, who's going to step up and take charge? Jay Vancic, certainly capable. All the senior leaders on the Michigan State Spartans team. And it's gut check time. Big games, and this is dress rehearsal for the big games that will be played down the road. Even though each conference in the CCHA only gets one automatic bid. In the NCAA tournament this year, you have to figure that both of these teams somehow are going to find their way into the field.
Puck bounces down the ice. And remember, the Spartans have won their last 10 games. This will be icing, and they've got school record tying 23-game unbeaten streak on the line. They could set a new record tonight should they do it, but Ron Mason's team, how tired will they be? Their defense depleted by injuries. We asked him.
Well, it's kind of scary, isn't it? When you think of it, not having Markuson, we've had 5 guys rotating all year, and it's a solid group of 5 defensemen, and we'll probably go with 4 most of the time and try to buy minutes with a couple of other people. But if we get into a penalty-filled game or something of that nature, it's really going to make a lot of pressure. And, of course, Michigan puts a lot of pressure on you offensively, so we're going to have to hope that our forwards can help out a little more tonight.
Done that tonight. Shots 28-23 in the Wolverines' favor. Yes, they've been pressuring the Spartan D.
There are 2 other defensemen dressed, Aaron Hunt and Steve Clark. I don't believe either has seen a shift.
I would think you're right.
But it's a pretty good group. Fast, Lyles, and Hutchinson, all NHL draft picks. And John Insana, the 4th, has a goal.
And a huge goal it was late in the second, but then just as quickly to start the third. So goals late in the period, early in the period, boy, they can swing a game, and it was important that Michigan got that one back early. Nice save there by Blackburn off the shot from the left wing boards by Heron. Wolverines deep in their own zone, up through the middle. That one an errant pass. And the Spartans will just shoot it right back in. Blackburn couldn't corral it, but Michigan State changing. Josh Langfeld heads out. He is a goal tonight. Long shot in off the high glass. Lyles wrapped at it. Dolany. Puck in behind. Moved ahead by Fast. Whitten lifts it to center. Knocked down Dolany. He's offside though. 5:46 to go. Here in the third, we're all even.
Clash of the Titans here at the Joe, and it has been a seesaw battle between the Wolverines and Spartans. Spartans strike early, take the 1-0 lead on the Dolany goal. John Shania has helped the Wolverines to comeback trail with a goal and an assist. The big story nationally, Ryan Miller's shutout streak ending at 229 minutes and 29 seconds when Josh Langfeld scored early in the second period.
Wolverines have it in the Spartan zone. Puck behind the net. Heavy hit thrown there by Lyles. Back to the line and deflected off the skate wide. Let go first by Cammalleri. Damon Whitten stops behind his goal. Directs some traffic here. Whitten leaves it for Lyles. J.M. Lyles pass. Tipped down the ice. That's why there is no icing. Blackburn wasn't sure what to do, where to go, but the Wolverines will get it out. Cammalleri carries in. Looks to move around Insana. Think behind. Picked off before Cammalleri could get it by Damon Whitten. Fanned on the shoot-in, but the Spartans want to change. Mike Cammalleri has played a strong game tonight, feeds it ahead. Hossack on the move, coming off a hat trick, and offside was Hilbert on the right wing side.
Well, one of the players that was in the alumni game this afternoon, Mike Donnelly, who Ron Mason coached in the 85-86 season. Mike Donnelly scored 59 goals that season. Spartans won the national championship, scored the game-winning goal against Harvard in the national championship game. And Ron says, you know, it would have been 60 goals. Mike had an empty netter, but one of our guys was so excited, he jumped off the bench, and we got called for too many men on the ice. Goal did not count.
Still living in the area. Long shot. Miller had it caught up in the webbing. Could not drop it. That's what he's saying now. I tried to. Didn't quite feel right.
I'll get the latest about what's happening on and off the ice in college hockey's premier conference. Highlights, features, and more on CCHA Weekly. Saturday mornings at 11:30. Only on Fox Sports Net.
With that guy.
I saw you in your official CCHA sweatsuit. You
like
got
that?
the European look, though.
Do you like
oh,
that?
yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Point shot. It's blocked. Here's another one. Burns. Oh, and just wide. Hooked at center was Bogle. Carrying on. Patchell shoots it in. Spartans with quick changes. Hunsinger, long shot. Miller pushing it to Insana. Had to hurry with Cammalleri on him. Patchell to center, intercepted. Wolverines seem to be playing with a lot of confidence late stages here. Shot knocked down. Touched. Langfeld. Turn to the corner. Wolverines also seem to have the extra jump. Maybe that Spartan defense is indeed tired.
Oh, they've shoveled up their lines. Koch playing with Murray and Langfeld, and Jeff Koch, an industrious winger for the Wolverines, and usually he's the glue on the line as they get a big hit right there on Sean Patchell. And Wolverines, obviously part of their game plan to play the body, especially against the four defensemen that the Spartans are using, and eventually, the longer the game goes on, perhaps the longer it will, or the tougher it will be on the Spartans' defense as Jeff Koch continues to hammer away at those four state defenders, coming off a good performance, 4-point effort, working the line with Cammalleri and Hilbert on Tuesday in the 9-0 whitewash of Notre Dame.
That's the stumble as he wanted to let that shot go. Shot is knocked down. And back down the ice it goes. Ferguson digging for it. Body's going down everywhere in there.
David Whitten. We talked about the Carolina connections earlier with the draft picks on the Spartans. His cousin, Adam Burt, played a long time in the NHL for the Carolina Hurricanes, signed as a free agent this year with the Atlanta Thrashers. So cousin Adam Burt is, at last check, I think he had 27 or 30 games on the blue line with the Carolina, or with the Atlanta Thrashers this season.
Under 3 to go here, third period. Shania Heron on the faceoff. Controlled by the Michigan Wolverines. Maloney defended himself on that hit, got his gloves up. Commaseric lost control, regained, shoots in. Brad Fast back to get it. Ahead for Brian Maloney. Cammalleri knocked it ahead, got it back. Oh, big hit there. Maloney on Commaseric. Cammalleri through his skates. Stopped short on Fast, got help, switch back out front. Rolls through, Miller hangs on with Mark Kosick there.
Well, Mike Cammalleri has delivered a number of crushing body checks tonight. This time he's on the receiving end as Brian Maloney catches him with his head down mid-ice. Cammalleri taking a peek at the puck, and Maloney puts the shoulder into him. And then Cammalleri ties up the man, and it's centered. Gossett sniffing around Ryan Miller's crease.
Camps crowd here tonight, 19,618. On the draw, Miller had to be quick. Turning Andrew Hutchison behind the goal. Good play. Nail drops one back. Quick shot blocked. Rebound. Open net. Oh, how did that stay out?
Paddle down for Blackburn. That's how.
What a stop. Nail. Another one blocked. Boy, John Nail. He looked down the winner on his stick. With only 1:50 to play. Boy, Blackburn let in 2 questionable goals earlier.
That's the
talk about redemption.
Stoppage with 1:34 remaining. And the way the Spartans can salt away a lead. Good initial rush. First save made, and Blackburn's a little out of position, except he's got the paddle down and blocking 3 inches as Bogle with the rush.
Bad rebound to give up, though, to start right there.
Really had to bail himself out.
Sure did. I mean, those are the kind with just over a minute to go. Take the face off. Don't be fighting the puck.
Take the face off. If you're going to play it, clear it into the corner. Make sure it's out of harm's way.
Every face off huge now. 1.5 minutes left. 3rd period. Will we be playing 5 minutes longer or less through overtime? We'll see. Langfeld. Remember, a 23-game undefeated streak, 10-game winning streak on the line for the Spartans. Wolverines unbeaten in 4. Romensky played it in. Less than a minute to go in the 3rd. Gilson. Spartans right back out. Blackburn will play it. Lead feed Langfeld. Fast takes over. Near boards. Romensky plays it back. Burns to center. Or Gilson rather. In, shooting in around. Nail getting over there with Matska. Nail broke his stick. And without a stick, Nail. Good second effort to get it to center. 20 seconds left. Miller flipped it along to the corner and hit that broken stick of Nail, who now has another one. Cammalleri held in, blocked though by Nail. 8 seconds left. Will the Wolverines get one more shot? No, they will not. Cammalleri went and intercepted. And we are going to overtime. They played here last year to a 3-3 final. Here we're at 3. Will we have a winner? Or will it remain tied? We'll find out when we play overtime coming up next, and we're going there because of Mike Cammalleri as Hilbert helped assist to stretch his streak to a 16-gamer. Well, in games played at the Joe between these two, Red Berenson leads by 3, 12-9, with 1 game tied. So it's close.
Well, both men appearing not quite as unflappable as they usually do. This is a pressure-packed game, and they've not exactly been through the ringer, but they're into overtime with a lot at stake.
Including a school record for the Spartans should they win or tie here tonight.
CCHA, winner take all overtime.
Correct.
No bonus point.
Out at center. Nail moved it in. Wolverines turn. Out through center ice. Cammalleri flips it in. Fired around. Back to the line. Gilson. Feeds to the corner. Kosick in front. Hilbert behind the goal. Went out front. Andrew Bogle angles it down, and it'll go right to Blackburn.
Talk about outhouse to the penthouse. Mark Kosick on the number 1 line 2 weeks ago. He was not being dressed.
Here's Murray. Nice save by Miller on Craig Murray's quick shot. Kosick with a hat trick on Tuesday night. Back to Murray again, and a shot is blocked. Spartans shoot one in. Does Whitten. He got bounced there by Burns. Over Langfeld stick, back into the Michigan State zone. Miller will leave it for fast, bad clear. Got help from Lyles. Ferguson coughed it up. Back into the middle, Murray. Oh, nice stop by Ryan Miller. Craig Murray with 3 shots in the overtime. Flip down, this will be icing.
Well, Craig Murray allowed to walk into one. And Ryan Miller firing out the right pad to kick it out of harm's way. As Craig Murray, the Montreal Canadiens draft pick, got all of that one, as they say. Allowed to lean into it and transfer that weight from the back foot to the front foot and fire away. Craig Murray scoring 2 goals in a game earlier this month in a shutout victory at Yost Arena over Lake Superior State.
The importance of face-offs now become even bigger.
Tim Herron, the freshman, taking a huge one for the Spartans.
John Chenier for the Wolverines. Good job to stay with Chenier on the face-off.
Center stays with the center.
Here comes Herron. Chenier in chase.
Roll.
Herron gains center, shoots it in. Blackburn fires back same way. Failing to hold it in was Hutchinson, who sends them back.
Almost halfway through this overtime, the Spartans have not had possession of the puck inside the Wolverines blue line.
But here Maloney knocks down an errant pass. Turning Vancic and a bouncing puck. Jay Vancic. He got hit hard and sent right back in. Slowed up on a stanchion, stayed deep. Lead feed, tipped in. That's why there's no icing. Miller, he'll play it. That failed to click, and the Wolverines take over. 2:15 left in overtime. Like Romensky. Cammalleri couldn't get to it. Bogle stayed with him. Patchell knocked it back. Wolverines again. Here's Hilbert in. Hilbert to the goal. Scores! The Wolverines on Andy Hilbert's winner with 1:57 to go in overtime. Win it 4-3. Michigan State's 23-game unbeaten streak is history.
Number 20 for number 19.
Has been a dandy. 19,618, and the Wolverine fans on their feet.
Kosick with a little redirect. We said Hilbert's a powerful skater, has a powerful shot, and he snipes it 5-hole on Ryan Miller, and is mobbed by Mark Kosick, who made the pass to Springham. Powerful presence, and Brad Bass knows that, as Andy Hilbert just outmuscled the Spartan defender to get to the goal and slip it through the legs of Ryan Miller, and the Wolverines celebrate. They're now 4 points back of the Spartans in the standings. Great job of puck protection by Hilbert. You saw him get the left arm out. Fast came back with them, tried to finish, but Andy Hilbert just too strong on his feet, too strong on his skates, and he wins the battle And at the 3:03 mark of overtime, Andy Hilbert sends the Wolverines partisan of this crowd in excess of 19,000 home happy.
16 goals, 18 assists, 34 points the past 16 games on his streak for Andy Hilbert. So it looks as though former Wolverine, or rather with the Wolverines winning this one, it's the Spartans in that Edmonton Oilers dressing room that are going to be wearing Wolverine t-shirts for the next couple of days. Well, Sean Horkoff and company, Mike Comrie wins that wager. So it's a huge win for the Michigan Wolverines. Michigan State's 23-game unbeaten streak is over. Andy Hilbert, Mike Cammalleri continuing their fine play. Our next CCHA telecast Friday, February 9th, Alaska Fairbanks taking on Michigan State from Munn. Live coverage begins at 7. For Fred Pletch, Shireen Sasky, and our crew, Ken Daniels saying so long. You've been watching the CCHA on Fox Sports Net, where you'll see the Regional Sports Report tonight at 11. Now stay tuned for the National Sports Report coming up next.